Hi everyone, welcome back to my channels. And today in this video, we are going to cover some important topics in CSS. Okay, so in previous video, we have already covered some basic topics like what is a CSS, what are the different types of CSS, what are the selector, right? So the basic things we have already uh, cleared in our previous video. So in this video, we are going to cover more topic on CSS. Okay, and these topics are very important as a perspective of making our website very beautiful. Okay, suppose if you want to make any web page very beautiful, so these all property are very you know that property, and you need to use that property to make any website very beautiful. Okay, you always use these properties. So we are going to cover this property. Okay, so let's get started with our session. So coming to our visual studio screen. Okay, so today we are going to cover five topics in CSS, and these topics are like CSS. First, we are going to cover CSS colors. Then we are going to cover CSS units. What are the units? Okay, and what are the different types of units, right? And then we are going to cover a text property in CSS, right? Then we are going to cover font properties, and at the last we are we are going to uh, we are going no we are going to learn how we can integrate our Google font into our web page. Okay, okay, great. So today we are covering these five topics in this video. So great. Let's start with our first topic, CSS colors. Okay, so CSS colors basically the color property we are used to style the basically we are used to style our text. Okay, mostly we use the color property as a changing text color. But in CSS, it supports in several ways. Okay, it is we can use like text. Okay, we can use the color property, CSS color property on text also. So at the same time, we can use the color property on as a background, like background of the page also, right? And then sometimes we use on border also. Sometimes we use on paragraphs. Like we can use on or CSS support a different ways we can use the color property. Okay, so there are some different way. Okay, there are some different way we can use this color property, or we can apply the color the CSS color property on element. Okay, so what are that way? So there are five ways which we, or we can say that there are five different ways which we are use to apply the color property to an any element. Okay, so the first way is named color. So what are the named color? Named color is nothing but it is a predefined. Okay, first of all, it is a predefined color, and it's just a simple color like uh, simple color like okay, simple color like red. Okay, red, green, purple, pink, blue, yellow, right? So these all are, we can say that these all are the named color. Okay, so it is a predefined colors, and we can directly use this named color whenever we need it. Okay, great. And you understand, right? What are that? These are the example of named color. Example of named color. Okay, great. So the second way we can apply the color property to an element are hexa. We can apply we can use a hexa color. Okay, so what are these hexa code? Okay, basically hexa code, it is a six-digit code. First of all, it is a six-digit code. Digit code. It is a six-digit code, and it always start with hash symbol. Okay, it always start with hash symbol. Remember this. It is a six-digit code, and it is always start with a symbol, and it represent it represent uh, red. It represent red, green, and blue colors. Okay, it represent green, red, green, and blue colors. Okay, great. So these are the hexacode. Okay, it is a six-digit code. Always start with hash symbol, and it represent red, green, blue colors. Okay, so I will show you how hexacode will look. Okay, through an example. Okay, like this. So suppose if you use example. So hexacode like this. Suppose if you want to apply color white, but you need to use hexacode, right? So for white color, so for a white color, hexacode is hash, because we always start with a hash symbol, right? And it is six-digit code. You can see, right? You can say, right? This is a white color, right? Great. Okay, so we have our hexacolor also. Okay, the first is a named color. Okay, I have not given an example. Okay, so before going to the next way, first I will show you the practical example. Okay, so for that we are going to create a first one file, that is color.html. Great, color.html, and second is color.css, color.css. Okay, so in color.html we use a template simple, and we are going to give the title color in CSS. Okay, and okay, first we are going, we are using external CSS. Okay, so we need to link the external CSS with our HTML file. So for that we use a link tag. Okay, in head section of our HTML page. So we are going to use a link tag, and what is our CSS file name? It is a color.css, right? So we use inhref color.css. Great, right? Great. So we are still here. Okay. So I had already explained what are the named color. It is predefined color, or it is simple named color like red, green. Okay. I will give you an example. Suppose if you create a one heading. Okay. So H1. This is a first heading, right? Okay. I just started our live server for showing the output. Okay, you can see the output of our code, right? So this is our first heading. Okay, great. So it's look like this. Okay, so now I am using I'm no okay, so I want to apply a color property, CSS color property on H1. Okay, heading one. uh, so the first way is named color. Okay, so I will show you how we use named color. So named H1. Okay, great. So we can directly use H1, and named color we can directly use like this. Color. Suppose if you want to apply color red, so we can use red. Right? You can see that. Right? This is a red in color. Suppose suppose if you want to apply any another other color, so suppose purple. Right? This is also right different color. Right? Great. So this is a simple. We can say that this is a named color. Okay, name the color. Okay, this is a named color. Okay, great. This is a named color. Okay, I have comment for because I'm going to show the second way, right? It is a hexacode, right? So I'm going to show you the second way. For that only I'm commenting the first one. Okay, first way. Okay. So the second way is how can we apply the color property on elements. So the second way is Hexa, right? So it is a six-digit code first of all, and it always start. I have already explained you. It is a six-digit code. Start with a symbol, right? So in this way we can apply. Like, suppose if you if you want to apply color using using hexacode, so you can like this background color 00000, right? You can see you are successfully apply using the hexacode, right? So this in this way we can use hexacode. Okay, great. So I had explain you this is the hexacode. Great. Okay, great. So okay, so it is a okay. We have covered two way. Okay, so the third way is RGB color. So it is a combination of, we can say that it's combination of red, green, and blue color, right? It is a combination of red, green, and blue color. Okay, great. And it range from 0 to 255. Okay, so its range from 0 to 255, and 0 means fully invisible and 255 means fully visible. Okay, I will show you the practical example. Okay, don't worry. So suppose if you create here one paragraph, and this is a paragraph one. Okay, if you mention like this is a paragraph one, right? You can see the paragraph one. Okay, great. We are going to uncomment this style, okay? Because we need style. Okay, great. Okay, so okay, great. So RGB colors, right? It's combination of red, green, blue. It range from 0 to 255, right? So what is meant by 0 to 255? Its range, I will show you. We have created a paragraph, right? And there is a no styling applied on our paragraph, right? It's by default, it's look like this. Okay, great. So suppose if you use RGB color to apply color property on your para, so you can use like this color RGB, right? Suppose if you use RGB, you can see, right? There are three property we are using in RGB that are red, green, blue, right? Okay, and its range start from 0 to 255, right? Suppose if you want to give red color to the para, so you can mention 255 at the red place, at the first place, right? And the other place you can just mention 0, right? So you get red color to your para. You can see, right? Great. Suppose if you want to get a background color green, okay, or green, right? RGB, red, green, and blue, right? Suppose if you want to get a background color green and using RGB, so how can it's just like RGB, right? So at the red place, you want a green color, right? So at the green place, you can mention 255, means it's a fully visible, and the other colors we are going to mention 0 over here, right? So you get a green background color. You can see, right? Green background and red color, right? In this way, we can use RGB color. RGB color. Okay. So in this this way, sorry, mm, in this way we use RGB means CSS, right? Correct. Okay. Correct. Okay. So coming to our fourth way, the fourth way is also RGB. Okay, so it is also similar of RGB, but one more addition of property is alpha. Okay, so it is a similar of similar of RGBA, okay, but addition of one more property, that is alpha. Alpha. What is meant by alpha? Alpha means it control. We can using alpha property we can the controls control the transparency of an element. Okay, element. Great. Using alpha, we can control the transparency of an element, and the alpha property range the alpha. Okay, okay, the alpha property range from 0 to 1 only. Okay, and 0 means fully invisible. 0 means fully invisible, and 1 means fully visible. Okay, fully visible. I will show you through an example, don't worry. Okay, so RGBA. Suppose we are using here, right? Suppose here only. We are mentioning. Okay, don't worry. We are using another. We are creating another heading. Okay, H2. Suppose if we create for this. This is the second heading. Okay, great. So this is the second heading, right? So we have created a second heading H2, right? Now we are going to apply RGBA way. Okay, so how can we do this using just like suppose if you want to change initially by default it's look like this black in color, right? The H2 is in black in color in by default, right? So if you want to apply color property using RGB, yeah, RGB, so you can use like this. Okay. So first property is for red, second is green, third is blue, and the last one is alpha. Okay, the last one is the transparency. Suppose if you want to apply red color suppose if you want to apply blue color of H2, so you can mention 255 at a blue place, and other place you can mention directly 0. You can mention directly 0, right? And at alpha place you can mention it's a range from 0 to 1. Okay, so you can mention any number between 0 to 1. Okay, so if I mention suppose 0.67, right? So you can see the output. You can see, right? We have successfully applied the color property on the second heading, right? Great. So I had already explained you, right? Suppose if you use 0, right? So it is fully invisible. I will show you. You can see, right? It's fully invisible. And suppose if you use 1, it's a fully visible, right? Great. So that's the difference. Okay, great. So the last one is okay. One more thing. So we use a hexacolor. Mostly we use hexacolors in some UI UX tools like Figma, right? So you can see over there in Figma tools. Mostly we refer hexacode over there. RGB we can use also, right? We can control more. We can control more using this RGB on any element, right? Okay. So the last one is HSL, and it is mostly uncommon. We are not mostly prefer this way. Okay. Because we need some mathematics to apply this HSL color, because it's HSL means hue, saturation, lightness. Hue means it's an angle, which angle we need the color. Saturation means intensity. We can say that intensity. Great. And lightness means brightness of the color. Bright. Okay, so mostly it's a uncommon problem. We can say that. Okay, I'm just explaining this as a HSL because it is already present in CSS, right? So for that purpose only, uh, I have explaining. Great. So till now we have covered the CSS color property in depth. Okay, great. So coming to our move on our next topic, CSS units. Okay, so I have already mentioned here what are the CSS units. Okay, basically CSS units we uses to define the size, spacing, font, layout of an element. Okay, so basically we use for specifying some properties, some dimensions, some size of some spacing, some layout of an element. Basically, there are two units in CSS, and these are the first one is the absolute units, and second one is the relative units. Okay, so I will explain you one by one. Don't worry. So the absolute units are always these are the fixed unit first. They are they they are always fixed. Okay, always fixed. Always fixed. Fixed. No matter what. No matter what screen size. Screen size you use. Okay, what screen size you use or you see you use. No matter. Okay, it is always a fixed size, and no matter what a screen size you are looking means if you are seeing same paragraph. Suppose if you are using absolute unit to define some width, some paragraph width. Okay, so suppose if you mention the width 10 pixel, right, in laptop. So if you see the same paragraph on your mobile screen, so on that screen also the size of that paragraph is 10 pixel. Okay, it's not change. It always be fixed. Right. So what are that absolute units? So in CSS we have uh, example. Okay, not example. What are the units? The units are like pixel. Okay, absolute unit. Under absolute unit, we have pixel, we have point, we have centimeter, we have inches. Okay, great. So, okay, we can. I will show you the example for this. So this we are going to create. Okay, this H3. Okay, for this. This is a heading 3. Okay, heading 3. Great. This is a heading 3, right? Great. Okay, so okay, we use here absolute unit, right? Suppose if you use pixel, suppose if you give uh, h3, h3, if you give h3 width, okay, suppose if you give width, width 200 pixel, okay, great. If you use width 200 pixel, it's look like this. Okay, suppose if you use 500 pixel, down h3, right? H3. Okay, great. Okay, so suppose if you give some font size like in point. Okay, so we give 3 point. Okay, or 3 point is very small, so you can use 30 points. Right, you can see, right? This is our heading 3. another absolute unit, we can say that centimeter. So we give a margin 2 centimeter. Okay, you can see the initially our text at a very left side of our web page, right? So when we use a margin, so it will take a space. You can see, right? This. Okay. So we have applied this absolute unit in our H3, and I had already explained you these are fixed. Okay, no matter what screen size. I will show you. Suppose if you screen on this screen size, right? A net hub max. So here also the heading width is 500, right? And suppose if you see the same web page on Samsung Galaxy, so uh, here also you can see the H3 is 500, right? No matter what screen size are, it always be a fixed in size. Okay, great. So these are the absolute unit, and we have uh, we have this absolute unit in under okay, great. So in relative unit, the second one is a relative unit. Okay, so these are scalable. These these are scalable. Okay, these are scalable. So I thought great. These are the scalable, and but it depend upon it. These are scalable, but it's depend upon parents, and and sometime on depend upon viewport. Sometimes on viewports. Okay, so we have some units which are come under a relative category. Okay, so what are that units? That are percentage, that are range. Okay, that are view width, view height. Okay, so these are the view width, view height. These are the relative units. Okay, and I always said these are scalable, means it 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 change the size depend upon screen size, we can say that, and it's always depend upon some parent, and it take a reference of parent, and sometimes it take a reference from viewport also. So we have a percentage range, view width, view height, right? So I will explain to an example, don't worry. So for this, we use another parameter. Okay, this is another para. Great. This is another parameter. So I will give one class to a para because we have already created one para. Suppose if we apply one style to this para, so it will automatically apply over here also, right? So for selecting specifically element, we use a selector, right? So we use class selector here. So class selector, I will give you like rel u unit, right? Relative unit. One second. So I use this class, right? Okay, great. So okay, we use a relative unit for applying some styling element, right? On element. So units. So we can use percentage, right? So for width we use. Okay, for understanding for understanding relative units, first I need to create one parent for your understanding. So I'm going to create one div. Okay, and inside this. div. Array, sorry. Okay. So this div. Okay. Great. Hmm. Give one class. Or we no need to give one class. Don't worry. We have only one div in here, right? In this page. Right. Great. So suppose if you mention div, okay. Suppose if you mention width, suppose if you mention width 600 pixel, right? Your parent width is 600 pixel if you use, right? And when you use the right? The div is the parent of paragraph, right? Div is the parent of p tag, right? Over here, because we are write paragraph inside a div container, right? So paragraph is a child of div. Div is a parent for this p element, right? So, mm, okay, so we have given a width 600 to the parent, and when we use width property 50%, right? 50%, because we use a relative unit here. So, in relative unit, percentage we use, right? We have a percentage view with view height, right? So, percentage, whenever we are using percentage, it take a reference of its parent, right? So, we have mentioned a 600 width to parent. So, the 50% of 600 is a 300, right? So, it will take a width of 300 pixels. I will show you. First, you see the output, right? This is the width. Okay, great. Or okay, great. And para we have here this apply. Okay, no matter. No worry, don't worry. Okay, great. So, or wait, I'm going to comment on this. Okay, you can see, right? This great. So okay, so I have said, right, it takes the reference from its parent. So the parent assigned width is a 600 pixel. So suppose if we mention a 50% of 600 means 300 pixel, right? So it takes 300 pixel, right? I will show you right down this para. Okay. So suppose if you check, you can see, right, 300 pixel here over here. You can see, right, when I click on the para element, you can see 300 into 18.4, right? So in this way, and this is the relative unit. Okay, it always it is a scalable, and it will depend upon parent. Okay, so we have a rem also. Rem means it's a relative for an HTML font size. Suppose if you mention, I will show you relative how suppose if you mention here HTML, right? Suppose if you mention here HTML, and here you mention font size 16, right? 16 pixel, right? So suppose if you give here, right? If you write here width equal to 2 rem, right? If you give 2 rem, so it takes 1 rem equal to 16 pixel. Okay, like this calculation it will take as a 16 plus 16 is 32, right? So it takes like this. I will show you, right? You can see 32 into 72, 32, right? So in this way, the relative unit always takes it's always depend upon its parents. Okay, it takes the reference from its parent, or we can say that for this. And view width, it's depend upon view width, and view height, it's depend upon view height. Okay, so So great. We have covered till here. We have covered two topics, CSS colors and CSS units in depth. Okay, great. So the third topic is text property. Okay, so text property mostly we use to apply some styles to change the appearance of our text, to apply some styles on text to to make to make our text very shine. So we can use text property over there, right? So mainly we are mostly use this property, but there are a lot of properties are available in CSS for text. But in this video, we are going to cover only this property. Okay, so start with our text properties. So first is a color. Okay, so color is used to change the color of text, right? We have already see the example here, right? Color. Suppose if you want to apply color property on any element, okay, no matter it's a para, text, image, sorry, image, not image, list, OLLI, right? No matter. If you want to apply color property, you can use color property. Okay. So this is the color property simply. And second text property is text align. Okay. It is used to align your text on your web page. Suppose if you want to align your text at the middle of your web page. Okay, so you can use text align center over there. Okay, by default browser text alignment left alignment. Okay, suppose you can see right this another para this you can say that H3, right? This is a or we are going to create another element for that like H4, right? H4, right? This is a heading 4, right? This is a heading 4, great. So suppose if you want to change the alignment of your text, by default it's a left side. Okay, suppose if you want to change to center, so you can use like this, like H4 or H4, right? And text align. By default, you can see right, it's a left side. Then when we use text align center, it will change to the center, right? Great. Wait. Okay, great. So, okay, when we apply text align property, so it will change the alignment of our text. Okay, we use center, so you can see right, it change our text from left side to the center of our page. Great. If you mention text align right, so it will change to the right, right? Okay, great. So alignment property is used to change the alignment of text. Okay. Then text transform. We have text transform. Okay. So it is used to transform your text into some different cases, like H4. If you use text transform property, right? So in text transform, we can convert our text into capitalized format. So what is meant by capitalized format? It put the first typographical letter unit of each word in title case. Means it's changed it capitalize the first letter of every word. Okay, simple. Then in text transform we can use lowercase also, we can use uppercase also, we can use cal, initial, unset, all these things. So suppose if you use the text transform lowercase, so it will it will totally convert into lowercase, right? Suppose if you use text transform uppercase, right? Suppose if you use uppercase, so you can see, right, this whole text convert into the uppercase. Great. So this is the text transform property. Uh, then another one is a text decoration, right? Text decoration. Suppose if you want to apply some styles like underline, right? Suppose if you want to I will do this and text decoration, right? So suppose if you want to apply some lines, some different types of line like dash, dotted line, line through, overline, solid, some underline. So that kind of styling, if you want to apply on your text, so you can use text decoration. Suppose if you use text underline, right? So it will get a right. So it gives the underline on your text, right? Suppose if you use, suppose if you use dotted, okay, so dotted, okay, dotted underline, you can say, underline. So you can say, right, it's a dotted underline, right? Great. So suppose if you can use like suppose if you use line through, so it will it will we can say that it's it's break your word, right? The line comes at the center of your text, right? Like this. It's like a strike tag. Great, great. So then we have a letter spacing, right? As a as a name suggests, letter spacing means it controls the space between letters. Okay. Suppose if you see, right. So suppose if you want to change, if you want to give uh, some space in between a letter, so you can give like this 20 pixel okay, letter spacing. You can see, right? So we can control the spacing between the letters using the letter spacing. Okay, there are another property also. It's a word spacing, right? So it will using this word spacing we can control the space between a word. So suppose if you mention 10 pixel for each word, you can see. Suppose if you give, you can say, right, this great. Okay, great. So okay, so the last text property is direction. Okay, so it will direct our text from left to right or right to left. By default, it's left to right, but we can mention right to left. Right now, our text is right to left. Okay, suppose if you want to change it, so you can use you can for this we need to apply we to comment on text alignment. Then okay, by default it's look like this, right? So suppose if you want to give a direction to your text from right to left, so you can use direction and right to left. So it will work like text aligned right, same, right? Great. So this is so great. We have covered text property also. So the fourth point is coming to our fourth point, so font property, right? And the font are very important part of our website. Right? So we need to understand what are the font property and why we use. So basically, we used font property. We used to style our fonts. Okay. Okay, great. So how can we style our fonts using some properties like font family, font size, font weight, font style, right? So font family, it gives more different kinds of or we can say that using the font family we can uh, convert our font into a different style. We can say that. Okay, I will show you the example. You will be understand better through an example. Yeah. Okay. So I take H5 for this. Okay. Great. This is a heading fifth, right? This is heading fifth. You can see that. This is a heading fifth. Okay. Great. And we are going to apply some font properties on H5, right? H5 is yes, H5. So suppose if you are going to apply some font family. So first of all, I need to increase the size of font, right? So we use font size property, right? Over here, we can use font size like this. Font size equal to 50 pixel. We can say that 50 pixel. You can see the 50 pixel, right? Initially, by default, it's very small, right? But when we use a font size property, we can increase this using the font size property. Also, we can decrease the font. Okay, great. We can increase also and we can decrease also. We have full control on size of the font. Great. Using this font size, we can increase the font. Okay, so font. What is a font family? Okay, so font family. It's like simple. We can use a font family, and you can see the definition of font family here. It specifies a prioritized list of font family names or generic family names. A user agent iterate through the list of family names until it matches an available font that contains glyph or character to be rendered. Okay, so this is the font style. So these are the font style are available. So suppose if you use this font style, right? So you can see the effect of it will change your font, right? So this is the font family. Great. Okay. Then we have font weight. Okay, so using a font weight, we can bold our font. Okay, I will show you. Suppose if we use font weight property, so you can. So there are some from 100 to 900. We get a range. We can bold our font, right, in between 100 to 900. And there are another attribute also bold, bolder, lighter, right? Suppose if you use 700, you can see the font weight, right? Suppose if you use bold here as a font weight, so it will bold your font, okay? Suppose if you use bolder, so you can see the bolder effect of. Suppose if you use a lighter, so you can see the lighter version of heading, right? Great. So this is the font weight, okay? So great, and these okay, great. So we had successfully covered the font property also, right? Here font property also, great. So the last topic of our today's video is how we can use Google Font in our web page, how we can integrate it, and how we can use in our website. So I will show you how we can use for using the Google font. We need to go to the Google font website. Okay, so go to the Google fonts. Okay, great, and just click on this first link. Great. Okay, so you can see the you can You can see screen like this. Okay, great. So here is a font, an auto, icons, uh, icons also present here. Okay, you can see these are the different types of. Suppose if you need some icons, you want to inject some icon on your web page, so you can use from here also. We are came here for Google font, right? So suppose if you want to apply this font, right, this Roboto. So just click on this Roboto font, okay, and you can choose from here also. What is theme, italic, any kind of. Suppose if I choose some this kind of, okay. So just click on this and click on get font, okay, and Roboto. Click on Roboto, get font, and click on get embedded code, okay. When you click on get embedded code, the screen comes in front of you like this, means links and importing. So you can use the Google font in your HTML page also, and you can use it at your CSS also. So we are going to use at CSS. So for this, we need to import the we need to import this URL. Okay, so we are just copy this URL and came to our CSS. Okay, great, and we are going to apply to universally to whole page. Okay, and suppose first I will show you how our font look like, right? So our font look like this. Okay, great. So suppose apply when we apply Roboto, so it will change our font to Roboto. Okay, so in font family in universally we can say that it will apply when we use a universal selector. Oh, okay. So whatever the style we have written inside the universal selector, it will apply to your whole web page. Okay. So remember this one, font family, and you use Roboto, right? So you can see that. You can see, right? It will change to Roboto. Great. So in this way uh, we can add a Google font into our web page. Okay, great. I will give one more example to for your better understanding. Suppose for embedding a Google font into your web page, just click on font. Suppose if you want this kind of font, right? So just click on this font, right, and click on get font, right. Then just click on get embedded code. Click on import. Copy this URL, right? Copy this URL. Came, change this URL. Okay, great. And and change the font family. Is of road? No, we need this. So you can use this font family. Right? You can right. It will change. Great. So in this way we can integrate a Google font with our web page, right? So great. So today we have covered all these 5 topics in very details. And if you face any difficulties, so please ping me or comment your doubts. I will solve your doubt definitely. Okay. And if you are watching my video, so thank you so much for watching my video, and like and subscribe my channel. So for getting notification for new video. If you like my, if you like, subscribe my channel. So whatever the new video I have I will upload. You will get a notification for that video. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, and thanks. Thank you so much. Thanks for. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks so much. Bye bye. Take care.